Star Wars 7x7 episode 2118. So, we have Darth Maul in this final arc of the Clone Wars Season 7, but just how did he actually survive in the first place? How did he survive the events of the Phantom Menace? Well, there are three particular story arcs that address the fate of Darth Maul and his activities leading up to when we meet him in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, and we're going to look at the first of those story arcs this week with the episode Brothers. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, Brothers is the first of a three-part story arc that actually takes place at the end of Season 4 and then the beginning of Season 5 of the Clone Wars, and it features Savage Opress going on a mission to find his long-lost brother. Yes, that would be Darth Maul. He's going at the behest of Mother Talzin, the leader of the Night Sisters. We last saw them interacting about this in an episode called Witches of the Mist, which was the episode that took place right before the Mortis arc in Clone Wars. So, yeah, that's got some history to it, to be sure. I mean, that was midway through Season 3, here we are in Season 4, so yeah, that's, kind of a long time, but he finally has a clue, and that clue is going to lead him to Lotho Minor. He's also wearing an amulet that apparently is able to not only track Maul, but somehow connect him to Mother Talzin as well. It's a pretty talented little thing. And once he arrives on Lotho Minor, he is aided by an anacondan, yeah, that's the name of the species, named Morley, which is kind of close to Moray, I guess, in a way, because he's kind of eel-like. And when Morley asks, who he's looking for, and finally Savage says, "My brother," and Morley is like, "Does he look like you?" And then Morley has this creepy little tale to tell about somebody who could be the person that Savage is looking for.
Oh, I just heard stories about a horned man. I thought it was just an old local legend.
How old?
Old. They say he drags things down beneath, and they never come back up. Oh, but it's only a legend, like I said.
Yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares right there, but man oh man, it gets worse, because once Savage seeks shelter from some acid rain, and he thinks this is where Maul is, but Maul isn't there, and then he suddenly goes to, "Mother Talzin betrayed me." Why? I don't know, but Morley is like, she's not the only one, and dink, drops him down a trap door, and he falls quite a long way. And Morley says, yeah, my master will like you, and I'll have the leftovers. Great. Well, guess who the master is? That would be Maul, who has been horrifically changed. The upper half of his body has been grafted onto a weird cybernetic spider bottom body. Actually, I guess not bottom body, but like if you took the body of a spider, but you cut the head off and then you stuck Maul's body into the neck hole, like, oh gosh. And it would have to be obviously a pretty big spider. I will say that the way that Sam Witwer plays this is just nuts. Like, his raving lunacy is really creepy and well done. But this episode doesn't explain how Maul came to be this way, how he managed to survive, how he was attached to this weird cybernetic spider body, none of that stuff. Morley shows up thinking that it's time for the leftovers. Surprise, Savage is still alive and says, "What did you do to him?" And Morley's like, "I found him this way, it wasn't me." And that, unfortunately for Morley, doesn't help his cause at all, because Savage snaps his neck and throws him on a fire pit. The short, happy life of Morley the Anacondan. But finally, after all of Maul's rantings and ravings, and Savage saying, "Who did this to you?" And Maul is like, "It's a Jedi," and all this horrible stuff. And that seems to bring him into focus and bring his desire for revenge up to the surface and give him some clarity that this is what he wants to do. He wants to get revenge on the Jedi that cut him in half. Meanwhile, throughout this episode, all sorts of characters have been feeling like something bad is about to happen. It starts off with Count Dooku saying that he feels something sinister is coming, and he's talking to Grievous about it. Later on, you have Anakin and Ahsoka in a diner where Savage Opress has just been looking for information that might lead him to Maul. And Anakin saying, I feel something sinister, this is weird. And then there's a scene with Asajj Ventress who is talking with someone, and she's real jumpy in a cantina somewhere else, and she's like, yeah, something's not right. Finally, we get Yoda meditating at the Jedi Temple, and Obi-Wan comes in. Yoda has some very bad news to break to Obi-Wan.
Feel the disturbance in the Force, do you?
Yes, Master.
Fear you are in danger. I do. From the dead, an old enemy has awakened, seeking vengeance.
An old enemy?
Killed your master many moons ago. He did.
How can this be? I killed him myself.
It is so, I fear.
Darth Maul, alive?
Maul is alive? Yeah, how indeed. So hopefully the next episode of the show is actually going to tell us, and we're going to talk more about it on tomorrow's episode of the show here. But for today, that's basically what you need to know about Brothers, which is episode 21 from season 4 of the Clone Wars, and that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast as well. Thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the curve be flattening for you wherever in the world you may be.
This podcast is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other related Star Wars items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2019 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.